So my proudest creation is that I realized what I needed to do next. So it's a self-awareness and self-realization.
Hi everyone, welcome to Own Your Story. Today I am speaking to Zoe. She's the marketing consultant at Meshwebby and she also writes on her about personal development in her blog and she produces music as well. So I would say Zoe is someone who is like a multi-potentially. How I got to know you is you joined Own Your Story book sharing session where you share about Elon Musk's book, and from that session I knew that you have a project to read 40 books a year. Can you tell us a little bit about how does this project come about, and then how do you read 40 books a year? Like what's the secret behind it?
I started in 2017. So because I always struggle with finishing reading a book, so I never got to finish a book. So until I came across reading about Elon Musk, how he finished like 1-2 books per day, and at the point I realized that actually if you can do that, you can do that as well. So I started to try to like read more books, and then I didn't know that I gave myself this target like 40 books a year. So I know I finished it like the thing about reading 40 books, I don't really have a strategy or tips. It's just that I spend an hour a day consistently and every morning to just concentrate on reading, like not doing anything else. Because if you read about other things, read about your phone, then you're not going to finish it, right? So it's about concentration, consistency. Yeah, I don't see myself reading a lot on the rest of the days. It's just like 1 hour consistently every single day.
So for this year, 2018, is there any one book that impact you the most?
Yes, I would say the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It's a very
Right.
powerful book. It talks about how our subconscious works, and then it also helped me realize what makes us think in a negative way, and actually what's going through behind our subconscious mind. So I think it's very
Alright.
important to if we want to like better master our emotions, master our mindset. Understanding subconscious mind is very important.
Or is there a practical way how we can break the pattern in our head? Say I always think that I love chocolate, but I want to reduce a bit so that I don't gain weight. Like, is there any
So
way
it's
I
like
can break this pattern?
okay, so you're saying like how do you use subconscious
Yeah.
uh, training to like break away from
Yeah.
any bad habits? I think the main idea about understanding and using subconscious is a repetitiveness. Like if you do something so repetitive, it becomes a habit, right? It's just like your subconscious. If you keep telling yourself or give some signals, like an affirmation to your subconscious mind, it becomes a script in your mind. So what you can change that is that you give yourself a new affirmation or repeat something totally opposite from what you have been doing on daily basis. Like for example, you don't want to become someone who like always eating. So just give
Right.
yourself an affirmation, say that I will eat with the right portion. I will eat when I feel like eating.
Okay, so that's the book that has the most impact to your life. Is there a book that that say you will recommend to your younger self when you first enter the world?
Okay.
The real world.
The real world. I wish I've read about biography like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs biography when I was a little younger, because
Yeah.
understanding someone's journey and how they make decisions is very important. It will help you to improve your decision making, like when you are like when you enter the real world. It's very important. Yeah.
Is there an example how these figures have helped you make an important decision in your career or life?
Yes, I guess taking risks. Taking risks.
Yeah.
Taking risks and really act on something that you are. I would say passionate is like something that you feel that you have a conviction to
All
really
right.
make impact to the world. So
Cool. That leads us to the next question. What's the biggest risk that you take this year?
biggest risks.
Yeah.
I always feel that the biggest risks
Uh-huh.
I did is it's not taking enough risks.
Wow.
not
So
taking
the
enough
biggest
risks.
risk is not taking enough risk.
Yes, because
Uh-huh.
because it's risky thing of when you don't take risks, because we are living in a fast-paced world, and then we always need to innovate if you want to
Right.
stay ahead and become better in your industry. So I think that if you take more risks, it will reduce your the overall cost that in the
All
process.
right.
So yeah, not
So it's
taking
like
risks is very
in a
risky.
way invest in more eggs, more buckets.
Uh, yeah, taking more risks, like branch out a bit. Like instead of just like operating within your field, like just do more of what's
Expand,
capable. Yeah,
which is
expand.
about what you're doing right now. Besides your own company, you have like a blog and then your music project, and it's on Product Hunt as well, right?
Yeah, just an MVP.
Yeah. So, what's your proudest creation so far?
My proudest creation.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a personal development journey. So my proudest creation is that I realized what I needed to do next. So it's a awareness and self realization. So it's
Alright.
not really a creation that's being put
Alright.
out there.
So the proudest moment is actually when you know, okay, like light bulb moment. It's like I know what I want to do next.
Yes, yes.
Wow, that is very interesting. And since you talk about productivity in your blog like this way, can you share with us like one most important productivity tip that has most utility in your life?
Okay, I guess if you try to be productive,
Yeah.
the very important thing is that you define your end goal and your day-to-day process of execution and become so streamlined that whatever you do, you always get to a point, the outcome that you want. So if you do that so often, you get to be more productive without having to, like strive to be productive. Yeah.
So right now, since you, like I said just now, you do different things. You have your own company, and then you do music, and then you write. How do you manage your time?
Okay, how do I manage my time?
Yeah.
I usually have this, time block. So time
Right.
blocking. So I heard about it. So like, for example, today my project is to get these partnerships. Let's say. So I would just just set the entire like for a few days, and then I'll just do the particular project. And yeah, until you finish, then you only move on to the second thing you want to do. But make
Alright.
sure it doesn't become counterproductive. Like you do many things and then it actually affects the quality of the thing.
Even though you do different thing, at one point you just focus on one thing.
Yeah, maybe like a couple of days of windows to let you to really launch it.
Right. Is there any specific tool that you recommend for people to track their time
Track them, but I actually
or
use my own
track
system.
productivity?
Yeah, I actually use my own system. It's a very funny system that I use. It's an Excel sheet that I use.
Alright,
to track.
Excel sheets.
Yes,
Actually, me too. Maybe not very sophisticated, but you get things done.
that's awesome. Yeah.
So, is there any role model that has a biggest impact in your life?
Role model.
Yeah.
I will still refer to Elon Musk because he's someone that he
Right.
says something and he makes it happen. Yeah, so that's the quality I think I admire. Yeah.
So it's about execution, Elon
Yes,
Musk.
execution and make things happen and really change the world and make an impact. Yeah.
Okay, because like from Elon Musk, like he has a very famous principle called first principle.
Oh yes.
Can you explain that? Do you know
Okay,
how it
first
works?
principle. Okay, he said that if you
Yeah.
use analogy
Yeah.
in your daily life, it's very hard to think in a very innovative way. So what first principle is all about is that
Yeah.
you think something in terms of its very fundamental. Let's say you think as you try to be innovative about designing a furniture. So the analogy would say, oh, this is a table. So a table consists of four, the structure, okay. And then if you think in terms of first principle, you reason up from the fundamental. So what makes a table a table?
Right. Wood. So you start from there.
Yeah. So you reason up from it's very fundamental, like rather than analogy what everyone's already thinking.
Okay. Yeah. So that would lead to the next questions. What is your first principle in life?
Mine is connections. It's not so much about connection with like network of people, but connection of who you are and what you end up you want to do, and then also connection with who you are and how do you connect with other people, to
Alright.
your environment, to your
role.
people, yeah, and your connect your gift with with the real world. Yeah.
How do you see your role right now?
I guess it's the very focus for me is to create something valuable and useful and bring meaning and benefits to other people around.
So before we come to the last questions, where can people connect with you and find your work?
Okay, Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook and also Instagram. I use Instagram a lot.
Alright, and your website as well, we'll link it up.
Okay.
It comes to the last questions. With all the things that you're doing in terms of music, in marketing, in writing, what is the impact that you want to make in this world?
Okay. I guess back to the value that I already talked about just now, connections. So try to create a sense of connection between what everyone's all about. So we bring everyone together, and then we can experience meaning. We can experience something like the reward of creations.
So at this point, since we are coming to the year end, is there anything in 2019 that excites you the most?
It's a music, the music platform that I shared with you just now. So it's a project-based music production platform that allows people to get better at craft and also to discover everything that's related to electronic music.
Thank you so much, Zoe, for coming to own your story and then share all the things that you love, share knowledge, share tools. We hope you all the best in 2019 and achieve whatever goals you set out to achieve.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you guys next week.
Bye.